Hey there guys, welcome to Dinos Vault once again. Today I'm checking out the Suzuki Gixxer SF Fi or fuel injected variant. Over the past months, many of you have requested me to review this bike. I too was eagerly waiting for it. Well, now the wait is over, so let's just go ahead and find out what extra does the new Fi variant have on offer for us. The Gixxer SF is the most affordable fully faired bike available here in our Indian market. Now the fairing on the SF, as I always keep saying, is not just a marketing gimmick. This fairing has been wind tunnel tested using the same method adopted for the JSXR range of sports motorcycles from Suzuki. The aerodynamics are spot on, though the riding posture is more upright to offer more comfort for your everyday ride or even touring. This is one bike that literally can be enjoyed equally well on a track circuit. Now this is exactly what makes this bike more versatile, more relatable, more enjoyable, and as a result such an amazing proposition for an average Indian biker or even a bike enthusiast looking for an all-rounder bike. It has the looks, it looks stunning in this MotoGP edition and gets you all the attention you hope for while riding it through the streets. It has comfortable riding ergonomics with a good suspension setup, which means you can enjoy riding it on a daily basis while take it out to the highways or track circuits on weekends. The brakes are good, especially the front brake has a good bite and feedback and inspires confidence. I'm not a great fan of having a rear disc on board without ABS. I'd rather prefer a drum brake instead. Still, with the front brake offering good feedback, you can come to a standstill pretty quickly. You'll see that when I show you the riding footage later in this video. Also, where this bike scores really well is the mileage and fuel efficiency department. With SEP or Suzuki Eco Performance technology on board, which improves combustion, reduces friction loss, optimizes the cooling system, and offers a higher compression ratio, it ensures we get a perfect blend of performance and economy. Now with the FI on board, I hope the mileage figures would be even better. This bike also meets the Bharat Stage 4 emission standards. Now all of us have been eagerly waiting for the fuel-injected variant to see how close it can get to matching the sheer legacy of the Yamaha R15 version 2, which still remains to be a benchmark for entry-level track-focused bike in the affordable range. I know the RC is kind of a screamer out there, but it is significantly expensive and it falls in a higher segment, so we'll keep that out of the equation here. To begin with, the good news is that we now do finally get the FI or fuel-injected variant for the SF. The bad news, however, is that there is no change in power or torque figures. The bike puts out the same power of 14.8 PS and same torque of 14 Newton meters as that of the carbureted variant, which is slightly disappointing because if only the power were to have bumped up slightly, it would have inched that much closer to giving the R15 a run for its money. Now I have already compared the carb version of the SF with the R15. You can watch that video by clicking on the link appearing on the screen right now. Of course, the R15 is a purely track-focused bike and gets several special features such as a diacetyl cylinder and forged piston, just like some of its elder Supersport siblings in the R series. It also gets a 4-valve combustion chamber, a delta box frame, linked type monocross suspension, aluminium swing arm, etc. I suggest you watch that video for a detailed comparo. Now comparing this FI variant to the R15 2 doesn't make much sense because the SF is priced significantly lower. The SF gets a 5-speed gearbox whereas the R15 gets a 6-speed gearbox. The R15 version 2 puts out more power and more torque at 17 PS and 15 Newton meters respectively compared to that of the SF. The R15 gets a proper super sport styling inspired by that of the R6. Now the SF does get an aerodynamic fairing as well, but the seating posture is not as aggressive or as track focused as that of the R15. The R15 gets a 4-valve engine whereas the SF gets a 2-valve engine. The R15 version 2 gets a split seat setup whereas the SF gets a single seat layout. The R15 has a weight advantage as well as it weighs just 136 kgs, whereas the Gixxer, though lightweight, weighs in slightly heavier at 139 kgs. Seat height is higher for the R15 at 800 mm, whereas that of the SF is 780 mm, which holds good for shorter and average height riders. Ground clearance is same for both the bikes at 160 mm. The R15 has a longer wheelbase at 1345 mm, which results in better high-speed stability. The SF's shorter wheelbase of 1330 mm provides for better flickability in city traffic and better cornering capabilities on the track. Now where the SF really scores over the R15 is with its versatility and affordability. It offers better comfort, better mileage and is priced unbelievably when compared to the R15. Also, price wise and character wise, you might want to compare it with the Phaser. I've already compared the carbureted version with the Phaser and AS150. You can watch that review by following the link appearing on the screen right now. Though SF is fully faired and the Phaser gets a semi-fairing, the reason for the Comparo is because both are good bikes for touring. I believe that Comparo video should come in handy for you because I've shared some useful info there. Now, coming to the advantages of having FI on board, the fuel injection technology on board the Gixxer SF uses 6 sensors to calculate the optimum amount of fuel to be injected for better combustion efficiency. This results in improved fuel efficiency and gives you accurate throttle response at all RPMs, thereby enhancing its overall performance. It is also set to better its cold startability without you having to face any issues in the chilly morning weather of the winter season. Now, the price increment you pay for the FI variant is around 9.5k more than the standard SF variant. It is around 7k more than the standard MotoGP edition. It is around 6.5k more than the dual disc SF variant. It is around 4.5k more than the newly launched SP edition and the MotoGP dual disc variant. Now, the FI variant is absolutely identical to the standard dual disc variant or even the SP edition in terms of everything like dimensions, engine specs, etc. apart from the fact that we get fuel injection on board here. Also, the FI gets rear disc as standard and we get clear lens LED tail lamp when compared to regular LED tail lamp on other variants. Of course, the SP edition gets the clear lens unit as well. Then, of course, one major thing to note here is that the FI variant doesn't get a kickstarter like the other carbureted variants. Still, that cannot be counted as a major disadvantage because nowadays the push button start system has become more and more reliable. Just getting your battery serviced every couple of months will ensure that you don't end up having any issues with the starting mechanism. Also, another thing to note here is the RPM limit light indicator offered with the Gixxer Street Fighter as well as the SF in the Speedo. I've explained about that in my Gixxer Street Fighter SP edition review. I suggest you watch that video by following the link appearing on the screen right now. Now, coming to the engine specs, we get the same 4-stroke single-cylinder 4-valve air-cooled 154.9cc engine that puts out a max power of 14.8 PS at 8,000 RPM and a max torque of 14 Newton meters at 6,000 RPM. And this comes mated to a 5-speed gearbox. Taking it out for a spin, I noticed immediately that the throttle response was more instant and the bike responds well to throttle inputs when compared to the carbureted version. Both the carb as well as the FI variants are refined, but the refinement level on the FI has a different feel to it. I have felt a slight lag with the carbureted variant when compared to the Street Fighter whenever I got to ride it. The difference I felt here with the FI is that the SF FI feels just as swift-footed as the Gixxer Street Fighter. I didn't find any long straights to push the bike to its limits, but around 94 kilometers per hour, the bike felt quite at ease without feeling strained. I think that is marvelous for a 155cc bike. I have a friend who rides down all the way from Bangalore to Hyderabad occasionally on his Gixxer SF carbureted variant and he hasn't complained of anything major as of yet. I liked the feel and bite of the front brake. It was confidence inspiring, and as you can see here, I'm coming to a standstill from around 94 kilometers per hour pretty quickly, and that too on a wet surface because it's been raining heavily here over the past few days here in Hyderabad. The rear disc felt a little unsure and insecure, and I hope Suzuki can tweak that up in the future upgrades. Now, talking about the mileage should improve in my opinion for the FI variant. My friend who owns a Gixxer Street Fighter gets around 48 kmpl in city conditions, which is pretty decent. For the SF FI, you can expect anything around 45 to 50 kmpl depending on your riding style and riding conditions. Please go through my mileage tips video by following the link appearing on the screen right now. Price ex-showroom Hyderabad for the Gixxer SF Fi is Rs 96,132. So that's pretty much it for now. I just hope you found this video useful. Until next time, this is Dino saying ciao. Take care, God bless, and ride safe.